What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some Ray Charles, and I'm actually going to the Ray soundtrack, the film, I think from 2004, starring Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles, but this is an original Ray Charles recording, as I think the entire soundtrack is, at least that's my memory. I haven't listened to this in a long time, and I do have some other Ray Charles material. I'm trying to remember the name of the album. Oh, I have a His Greatest Hits Volume 2 album, as well as a Christmas album that I did a couple reactions to this last Christmas. But yes, we're going to listen to Mess Around, maybe my favorite Ray song of all time, certainly a contender. I think the first place I actually heard this was in the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles movie, and I wonder if it's in that soundtrack as well. But yes, it will forever make me think of John Candy miming all the instrumental parts and singing along, or I think mouthing along as he's driving while Steve Martin's character, Neil, is sleeping and unaware of the peril that awaits them. So yes, it's impossible for me to entirely divorce it from the original context in which I heard this, but however you slice it, this is an incredible piece of old-time rock and roll. I love the saxophone in particular, but the keys are hot. The vocals are perfect. It's just a masterpiece of old school, old-time rock and roll. So let's give it a listen. This is Ray Charles, and the track is Mess Around.
People too, mess around. They're doing the mess around. They're doing the mess around. Everybody doing the mess around. Everybody was juice, you can bet your soul. They did the boogie woogie with a steady roll. They mess around. They're doing the mess around. They're doing the mess around. Everybody doing the mess around. When I say stop, don't you move a peg. When I say go, just shake your leg and do the mess around. I declare I'm doing the mess around. Yeah, do the mess around. Everybody's doing the mess around. Now let me have it there, boy. She knows how to shake that thing, mess around. I declare she can mess around. Mess around. Everybody do the mess around.
And then a cigarette in the back of a car lights the car on fire and they nearly get hit by a truck. But yes, it's just a cracking track from beginning to end. I love the playfulness of it, both in the vocals from Ray and in the lyrics, and I think the last verse in particular has a bit of that. I love the I declare vocalization or shout as well. It's a great bit of, energy enhancing type of like in between the lines vocalization. And yeah, as I said, the saxophone is perhaps the thing that stands out most to me, although people who know this channel won't be surprised. The saxophone is, I think, a fantastic instrument that in modern times feels underutilized, certainly in earlier decades, and then with a resurgence maybe in the 80s, it was often found, but yeah, it really helps give the track a bit of its swagger. Of course, the keys, especially in that part where they just really get let loose and we get a bit of a piano solo, including that like forte part, which I always enjoy and again does make me think of John Candy miming it. But yeah, it's got fun, it's got energy, it's got danceability, which of course, it reminds me a bit in that regard of Wilson Pickett's Land of a Thousand Dances, where the name itself, Mess Around, is like a type of dance. It's like what they're doing, but he's referencing like other types of dance, like the boogie woogie, and talk about shaking your leg and so on. So it feels like it's just pulling little references from dance and songs, going back even before this tune. So yes, it remains a classic to this very day. I think it sounds as fresh in 2025 as the many decades ago when it was first performed. So big shout out to Ray, shout out to Jamie Foxx, who I think is very good in the film. Haven't seen it in a long time, but I do remember being impressed with his portrayal. And I also remember seeing a picture of them. In fact, it might even be, I think it's on, I have the cover for this on my music wall here, but I think there's a picture of him with Ray, and they're both, sort of smiling with the glasses on. So yeah, big shout out to both of them. Let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.